live right now. Yeah, yes. Sit right next to me. Just punch me.
Jason will do those things.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's great. Good.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
And then, but what it'll take, we'll have to hold their hands a little bit. I think what'll work best is have it be more like speed dating, where they have like
Yes.
Yeah, right there.
Right here.
Hi, good morning.
She's got the speaker. She's got her basket.
I think it'll be great if we have like you're there to do a little welcome, and then have it be more like a series of like questions. So it's related to what they wrote, but more like they're interacting, not the mayor sitting.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think that's.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. We'll work
okay.
it out because we'll
hey
have
guys.
to hold their hand a little bit.
Let's see.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's your kiddo doing, Carrie?
We're doing okay.
Oh dear.
Is someone sick?
We got a little
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Well, at least they made it to Disneyland and had a good time before getting
good.
sick.
Oh, that sounds like it was very good.
That's true.
I love that little voice in the background.
You know,
Oh my
you
goodness.
can't just come here and not have something to.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
It is
beautiful. Basket, little gingham thing. Oh my God.
This basket is like 50 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Well, look at it. It's held up.
Like a little apple on.
I feel like I should take it up to the camera and just like show it to everybody.
See what happens if you miss the meeting?
Now we don't have smell-o-vision. Mm-hmm.
I don't see any of the videos.
Right, that's what I'm not saying. I'm promoting everybody to a panelist, and so if you, generally that works, and then if you go out.
Is your camera on?
Let's see, I'm going to get you promoted.
When I'm not a panelist, there's not an option. Oh, here it is.
There you
Here
go.
it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Ours is not.
All right.
Good morning, Mary Moss.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. We're there.
There you are.
I had planned to meet you guys in person, but my LMCC board wants to meet virtual, and I didn't want to make 2 trips.
There is something convenient about meeting virtually.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. We're gonna have to break that habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I am the past president.
Past president. Okay.
Yeah. Walt Summers.
Again.
I think there is 26 of them.
I know. It's like. I mean, it was fine. He covered all the bases very sweet, but I was kind of like.
You ladies need to help yourself here.
But they covered it. And then the gal, what a great, I always love. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You needed all this makeup. Oh, it's so great to see, you know, I mean, that's what I always think is the best, that, individual that's been supported or helped or changed their life or, you know, like, dollars or your program or LASA, it's like, here's really what happened.
Right.
Like family, kids, it's like to have life has changed.
Kyle,
Like,
you
it's
should
not
be able to
just,
speak now. I think
you know,
I promoted
forms
you.
and policies and money. I mean,
Thank you. Yep, switched my view.
There you are.
so.
Other individuals in here. There's Elise.
Because, you know,
Everybody's dropping in. Is that a lemon pound
It's a lemon pound cake. Yes, it is.
if you wait 5 seconds.
You're being so good, Allie.
Half the stuff they need.
Down 11.
And it's like, you know,
my way to 30.
Write a note or do something.
Pieces are not that big.
That's true.
Right.
The slippery slope, though, Alex. Such a slippery slope.
That's right.
That's my favorite term. I remember
Right?
in
There's just so many
that
things.
term,
Anyway, that made
slippery
it.
slope. Either a law class in my graduate program, or I don't even know, but I just remember
Because
just the
if
vision
you
of
don't
a,
do it then, it gets off
Yeah.
your screen.
all right.
And
This one's
unless you
just
appear to see
missing,
it again, and then
oh, we're waiting for
additional
Joshua,
Well, I always, what
Our,
I usually do is.
yes,
put on my calendar,
Joshua
Stick it as a placeholder, so
Chambers.
that at least I know it's that
Okay,
day.
I don't know, I've not met Joshua, so
I have met Joshua
I'll get
once,
back to it.
or twice now. He came to our youth council meeting on Monday.
Oh, good.
And then we met off-site just
Yeah,
to
and then there's
introduce
like, oh,
ourselves.
like some Thanksgiving,
Great guy.
you know.
Really great
Hey,
guy.
hey, Shannon,
Yes.
this is Michelle.
Hi.
Good morning. I can only stay on till 8 o'clock. I have another meeting, so I just want you to know that when
Okay.
it's nothing you say when I click off at 8.
Well, that's good to know, thank
Well,
you,
thank
Michelle.
Thank you. Let's see, there's Josh. Cool.
So then you just sent something too, what is
There we
it?
go.
Well, I thought I'd let you introduce Josh since I don't know him, haven't met him before.
Yes.
Hard
Say
to
that.
forget, isn't it, when you
Yes.
do those things?
Except, you know, I kind of like
Yeah,
that.
he's
I mean,
awesome.
Sorry, I missed the meeting Monday, I was on my way back from Michigan.
You are quite the little jet setter.
People just order their dinner.
Well, that just happened lately, the last 2 months.
3 hours.
All right, well,
Yeah,
should,
oh,
I mean, we have enough.
Decorate and clean,
We've
right?
got our
All
guests.
the in-between stuff.
Ron will probably
Great
drop in.
idea.
Does anybody know if Ron Banner's gonna be on the call?
He usually
Yeah,
comes in a
Well,
little later, but.
it's up to you. When you wanna call the meeting to order, I'll keep an eye up there.
Do we have,
Jump-
Yeah, that does say that.
Oh, yeah. It's 7:34.
Well then, let's get our meeting started here, people. Yes, glad to see some people face to face, and I'm hoping we have more next time. We've got actually one more meeting before we adjourn for the summer. July and August start.
Big girl.
Oh, big girl
Yes,
voice.
big girl voice.
All right, here we go.
Good, that's good.
Welcome to everybody. Do we have anyone here that would like to make a public comment this morning? No outside guests? Okay, then we'll just move right on and take a look at the meeting minutes from last month.
Move that we approve the meeting, the minutes as presented.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Any question about that? Any other comments? All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Moving on to new business. We have a new member here that, we're going to be introduced to.
Yes, he's one of our guests.
I will let you do that,
Okay.
Shauna.
I mean, we can convince him to be a member. We have Joshua Chambers. He is the new youth wellness specialist at Clover Park School District. And are we seeing Joshua? Where's our friend Joshua? There he is. Hi, Joshua.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Well, Josh, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give us an idea of what it is you'll be doing in the school district, and then also touch upon the role that you'll be playing at the Youth Summit.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, like Ms. Shannon said, I am Josh Chambers. I'm the youth wellness specialist with Clover Park School District. I am I am doing a lot around mental health and mental wellness in all of the high schools. So that's in Open Doors, Clover Park, Lakes, and Harrison Prep, right? And so what I am doing is going in, surveying students, seeing just the climate and culture around mental health, seeing what the resources are and what students need, and then trying to help each school come around students and support them in their mental health and mental wellness better, so that we don't see as many crises that we are seeing from students. So that looks like me running groups. That means running peer support and teaching teachers how to listen or how to be like that first line of support for students since they see them most every day. And also how to teach, doing some peer-to-peer, so helping students support other students. Also, what else am I doing? Providing individual therapy and some group stuff. And so, yeah, that's most of my role as we see it today. And then I will be speaking at the Youth Summit as one of the workshop facilitators.
Yeah, he's gonna lead 2 workshops. Very excited, very excited to have Josh on board.
Excellent.
Thank you, Josh. We wanna see if anybody has questions for you.
I'm very pleased to have you with us this morning, Joshua. Are there any questions from anybody on our board this morning?
I'd just like to share, can you guys hear me? I just wanted to share that having Josh in the school district, which we all know is really important, it's been an important goal for the Lakewood Promise Board as well as council and everything else, and it's a partnership between the school district and the city of Lakewood, and we were able to use our, the ARPA money to help fund that. So we're really thankful for those resources. We're thankful for everybody supporting that, and Josh, really thankful for you to be on board and be that consistent place for youth in our school district and our community. So welcome. We're excited to have you with us.
Yes, thank you.
Just a question too, are you from Lakewood? Are you from Pierce County? Or tell us just a little bit about you personally.
So I am originally from Texas. I've been here for 10 years, so my accent has kind of went away. Unless I'm talking to some, if I talk to somebody back home, I have it, or if I get mad, it comes out. So, and I spent most of my time in Tacoma working in a number of Tacoma schools doing a various roles.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much,
Carrie
Joshua.
has her hand up.
Carrie?
Hi, y'all. So nice to meet you, Josh. I'm Carrie with Communities and Schools of Lakewood, and I think you've met some of our team, Mr. Bradley and Miss Leah at Clover Park High School. They're excited to have you there to provide some additional supports. So I just wanted to introduce myself, say thank you, and ask about time. Like, I'm hoping that this is an ongoing role for the school district, but I know the funding through the city is one time or short term. So I'm wondering if there's been some conversations about how we can continue to build, right? Like a few months or even the rest of this year is not going to be enough for our students. And of course, CIS wants to partner with you in the long term, but I'm curious about the longevity of this role.
So right now, my understanding is 2 years is what I heard. I think, yeah, 2 years. So, and my hope is to do good work to where they could be extended.
Well, we certainly appreciate having you here this morning with us, and I can tell already that you're going to be a very valuable asset to everyone. Any other questions for Joshua?
Yeah, I have my hand up.
Michelle
Yeah, Josh, welcome. I'm Michelle Johnson. I'm the chancellor at Pierce College. And you know, the whole mental health issue doesn't obviously stop in the K-12 system. Our students have really been experiencing this as well. And you know, our students here at Pierce College and also at Clover Park Technical College, you know, are a wide range of age. And so we have those who are running start and those who are coming out of the high school and those who have children and who they themselves are trying to figure all this out. So I hope that we have the opportunity to work across our colleges as well, because I think it's a growing issue. And as the students transition, how is it that we also help with the whole mental health issues? Because we know that it's a growing concern. So anything that we can do together, I extend out an invitation. So just let us know.
Okay.
And Elise has her hand up. Elise?
Yes, hello, good morning. It's nice to see you again, Josh. I would just love to know any insight that you have so far. anything that you've learned, or anything you're hearing from students that's kind of like risen to the top as a priority for you?
Yeah.
Just so far. I know you're just getting started.
No, so I actually surveyed Clover Park High School and Lakes High School this week, just about mental health. The top two things that two things that they want to learn about or that they're dealing with is stress and anxiety. That is like by far, there was like a list of 10 to 15 things of different topics, whether that's stress, anxiety, friendships, relationships, social media, all the topics, and anxiety and stress are the runaway favorites. Also recognizing that students know about mental health resources, but they aren't willing to use them. Literally one question is like, do you know the resources? Yes. If you know, do you use them? And the answer was like, more kids would say no. So there's something missing that we have to do to kind of get students to actually engage the resources that we have. And I think that could come around empowering parents, empowering teachers, and empowering friends, because a lot of them said they would rather talk to somebody that they know rather than talking to somebody that they don't know. So that's been the interesting takeaway that I've gotten this week.
Thank you, Joshua, for that insight.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Mary has
Ellie.
a question.
Ellie?
Go ahead,
Mary?
There you are, Mary.
Oh, hi. Hi, Josh. Welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm excited for the role that you're playing, because this is what we are hearing so much from the students, that their voice is not being heard. And I think it's just that they don't know how to present themselves, or they are uncomfortable opening it up. So hopefully you're going to break that cycle there. And anything we can do. I'm Mary from the Lakewood Council, so City Council. So anything you can do to help those students understand that they don't need to be afraid to open up. I think that's the biggest problem. So, and if there's anything that we can do to help you out, just let us know. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mary, okay.
Yeah, I had a question too. I know last summer when we met with the Warriors of Change, with the CIS program, you know, the kids had so many great ideas, and they had so many ideas. And one of the things I kept doing is, oh, you need to talk to this group, you need to talk to this group. So when you talk about having, you know, access or knowing what those mental health support systems are, or just other support systems, we could really think about how we get that information back to them, because there are a lot of programs and things happening in the community, but they just don't know about it. And so I'm not sure, you know, we've talked about communication, we've talked about that, and so if we could kind of put those pieces together, so that it's not just, you know, having to go to somebody, say this is my issue, and then, oh, go talk to this person, just a way of kind of getting those resources. I don't know how to do that from a communication perspective, but just keeping that in mind is, besides the new things we're doing, there are a lot of services and resources and groups, how we connect those folks.
Yes, I actually agree with that. And that's something that's on my radar, is how do we remove the barriers for them getting these resources, whether it's in school or outside of school. Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to create that is teen friendly, that they'll actually use to help them, you know, to help support themselves?
Well, isn't it true that, Joshua, that quite often our students do develop relationships with certain teachers that they have during the year?
Mm-hmm.
And could there be a conduit somehow between the teaching staff and our student body in some way?
Yes, even on the survey, I was really struck when I asked the question, like, all right, are there any suggestions? And a lot of the students said, we want our teachers to know how to deal with our mental health. So they're looking to their teachers to be this type of support. Now, the tricky part is, how do we equip teachers to do this in their class time when they have 30 students at one time, on top of all the things that they're teaching and structure? So that's something that we are looking at the district level. Like, how do we do this?
Yeah. Well, all good information from everybody. Thank you very much for all that input. I think we can move on to the next,
Okay.
or do we have another?
Nope, I don't think anybody has questions for Josh. Joshua, thank you so much. You're welcome to stay on, or if you have something else that you need to get on with the rest of your day with,
Yeah.
Joshua, we just appreciate you being here this morning, and I look forward to talking to you again. But again, you're welcome to stay on.
Yeah. I actually have to get to CP to meet students, so.
All right. Take care, Joshua.
Okay, Joshua, we'll see you again some other time. All right, moving on to our Youth Council Summit and the preparations that are taking place with that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll start right now. Our numbers as of yesterday for attendance were 149. So they're getting up there. What I love is I went again to the lunches over at Clover Parks yesterday, and our media guy and our Cameron both hit me up. Are you at an event? We're seeing the registrations climb right now. So it's like ping, 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 which is great. So Elise has been out to the schools. She's brought in some great numbers. We are going to continue going out to the schools until the event. So that's great. I have one of our best volunteers, Robin. She's taking a list of all of our registrants, and for those who have answered yes or unsure for their transportation, she's reaching out to tell them that we do have Orca bus passes, or we have a couple of cargo vans that are available. I talked to Andrew Cruz at Youth for Christ after this Monday's council meeting, or youth council meeting, and he'd like to take the route over at Tillicum and Springbrook, because that's where they're located. Right, so once we get all of the addresses for the individuals and figure out a location, a main location, then Andrew with Youth for Christ will handle those students who are not comfortable with Orca passes. And then we also have, I think it's a 35-passenger van. Carrie kind of got together with YMCA, and they're going to go ahead and donate their van. And both of these organizations are driving, and they're taking care of permission and everything the students have to sign in order to get on. Yeah. So as of right now, it's just getting those central locations where these vans can go pick them up and make sure they're delivered safely to our event. I have the Clover Park School District caterer is going to do the lunch and snacks, working with him. They're going to have both kitchens open at Harrison Prep, so that we can hopefully move those individuals out. I am looking for some volunteers to help in our classrooms. So our breakout classrooms, they will have the one instructor, but there is a requirement because of the number of students that will be in the classroom, and this is an event that away from school, we need at least one other adult in the classroom. And I have 7 classrooms dedicated to breakout sessions. The times that I would need volunteers to be present would be, I know I had it written down. Where's my little schedule? Hold on.
Pretty much between 12 and 3, right?
Yes, it would be between 12 and 3.
Okay.
So let me know.
Okay, how many do you need?
About 7.
One for each.
Yes, and I'm going to ask City Council as well. And then if you're able to stay, then those positions would transition to, say, rovers, going around so that, students are looking like they need help. Just interact with them. If they look to be a child sitting alone, they didn't have any friends, just interact with them, make them feel comfortable and special, but really kind of to answer questions and roving around to make sure that they're getting where they need to go.
Right.
So those, it's just, you can,
Make contact with you.
yeah, just make contact with me, and I will be issuing kind of a training, if you will, the week before the event, just to get everybody together and say, these are your assignments, and this is the time you need to show up.
What would that be?
It's going to be, I'm going to look at my schedule, but it's going to be the week prior to the event.
That'll be a virtual training.
It'll be virtual, yeah, and it won't take long. It's just basically just a reiteration of assignment of duties, time I need you to be there, really, really brief.
The event hours, what's the time frame for the event again?
The time frame for the event is 11 to 4.
Okay.
We are going to be keeping them busy. And after this meeting,
On the 21st.
on the 21st, May 21st, Saturday at Harrison Prep. I also have the night before, I have access to the, school, and 828 Flow staff and I are gonna be there to, determine exactly where each of the vendors will go, and maybe do some setup. So if anybody wants to come on Friday night and help with a little bit of setup, I have access to the, it from, I think, 4:30 to 8, but we won't take that long. 5:30 to 8.
So I do have a question just about the vendor piece of it.
Sure.
Because I remember a previous event, where we didn't have business come in, but we did have schools come in, and they were kind of on the outskirts. Nobody ever came by, or didn't come by very much. And so particularly now, when we have, different employers that are gonna be there, and we really had a push for vendors, I'm hoping that either they have a limited time where students have an event that they need to come around and see. So I would just hate for us to really put a big push out to external vendors and have nobody stop by their table.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if we've thought of that, or if there's a limited time they're there, or what.
Well, the vendors will be there. They've been told they need to be there throughout the entire day.
Okay.
So there's gonna be like a big vendor summit, if you will. So we have access to Four Heroes, which is right off the lunchroom. So we're gonna put them in that gymnasium, so that, I mean, there's about 30 or 40 that have signed on. 828 Flow is really bringing to, like Corsmo, Goodwill, Pierce Transit. I mean, they're really bringing people to the table. So,
Right here.
So I think maybe what Joyce is also saying is, it's like, when you go to a conference, there's like an incentive to go to the room.
Yeah.
Right.
There's activities, or, you punch a passport and you get a prize, but it's some
Right.
way of making sure that individuals, have a chance to interact with those individuals.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, if they're doing all the fun stuff, and those people in the corner going, I brought all my setup,
Way over
I remember
here,
that was
yeah.
a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. or
And that's
several
pretty
years
much what happened last time.
Yeah,
we
and
did it.
I'm
I remember
worried about that, because we have the breakout sessions that are pretty much on the other side of Harrison, the high school, in the classrooms.
Is there a way of, maybe we'll go to, is there a way of putting it in, like, where the big general session is, like where we do the MLK thing? There's tons of room in the back, couldn't we just line that around there, so?
Where are we thinking about? Ooh, I mean, if we wanna go, or I have a map, we'll talk about it, but yeah,
we'll talk about that during
yeah.
the meeting today, but
Okay.
yeah, let's talk about that. I think that's a
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that, because if it's too out of the way, then they're never gonna get down there
No.
unless there's
Right.
free ice cream.
Right.
You know, which is
Yeah.
something we could
Right.
talk about,
We could
right?
talk about, yeah.
And even if there's free ice cream, they might not go to the vendors.
Yeah.
So I love
Unless the
that.
vendors have the ice cream.
Right, right.
Well, and that's what we've
Here's
told
your
all the
copy.
vendors,
Yeah.
we've told all the vendors, your place needs to be a destination place for our students, right? You need to make it interesting, I don't care if you're doing push-ups, pull-ups, whatever, but make it interesting, prizes, candies, play the wheel, don't just give them a piece of paper.
Right.
Yeah, so we've been reiterating that.
Are you gonna share, like, the schedule, the different things you have coming and the different breakouts? I think that'd be really interesting for the people. Shannon's done an amazing job, with working with all our teams and you, but I think it's really gonna be a great event,
So, thank you. So the breakout sessions are going to include, we have yoga, so there's gonna be meditation,
Use them.
The person on the phone, but over.
oh, is that what? Who am I muting? Oh, this one.
No, they're
Oh,
not.
sorry. So the YMCA is donating, an instructor, so they're gonna come over and teach them meditative and flow, and we have another, instructor coming in who's gonna teach a different kind. She was recommended by Sally, and, we have, this amazing Adriana, and a friend of hers. Adriana was homeless. She was referred by Elise to me, and I still my first conversation with this woman, she's amazing, but she's gonna come in with a friend of hers who's a drummer, and they're gonna talk about, you know, being homeless and pulling yourself up by the bootstraps essentially, and getting out of that situation, and then therapy through drumming. I might have to stop everything and go sit on this one, and this woman is, I mean, you know, Elise, she's just, you meet her and you'll never forget her. She's wonderful. So we also have, TriStar is going to come to the table, and in their breakout sessions, they're going to talk about credit and how important it is to maintain your credit, and what they'll have are like scenarios through life. Buy a car if you don't have good credit. They're also going to talk about retirement. I have another, vendor coming in to lead a breakout session. Same topic, which is financial literacy, and they're going to talk about real estate investment and investments. I mean, it's never too late. And it's funny, when I'm going to Clover Park and I'm telling the kids, I'm trying to get them amped up about it, and then I mention what it's going to be about, they really get jazzed about the financial literacy part.
Oh, that is,
Yeah.
Wealth building.
Yeah, it's amazing. Gosh, what else do we have for our, I don't have my list with me, but I have assigned them. KWA, Korean Women's Association, is going to come and lead a summit on the Teens for Destiny, and she's bringing breakfast burritos. That's what I find out about Suzanne. She loves bringing her breakfast burritos. So, I mean, there's just...
And maybe some of the fun stuff that's happening too.
Yeah, the fun stuff, we have the game truck coming. That'll be there from 1 to 3, so students will be able to go for like 15 minutes and then move on. And then we have a DJ ShamWow. I have a call on Fridays with Clover Park School District and 828 Flow. And so we're kind of trying to figure out how to get the most bang for our buck out of the DJ. He's just being donated. How do we mute that person? It's the delay. There we go. All right. Let's see. We have donation raffle. I have an EarPods, so EarPods Pro, which means all the world's difference to our students, as was told to me Monday night by my youth council members. 828 is donating a high-end pair of Beats headphones. Twin Stars come into the table with Visa gift cards. Right now, there's 3 $100. I'm wondering, I don't like to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I was going to go back to them saying maybe if we could split it up to like $650. Yeah. I've got some Xbox, 4 Xbox $25 cards. 6-month membership is being donated by French Fitness. Gosh, movie passes.
Wow, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, we've got 2 incredible speakers. Christian Page, who I've still not met, but I hear he's dynamic. He's also going to lead some of the breakout sessions in some poetry manners there. Elise is going to be there, art through therapy. She's going to lead a couple breakout sessions.
Gosh, it sounds great.
I can't wait to go.
How can you not want to go?
I can't wait to go. So, and then after that, they're all going to hopefully go to our dancing in the streets. And Sally and I were talking about maybe she gives some sort of, you come to dancing in the streets and you win a prize. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give wristbands to the youth when they come in. And then if they go over to Sally's event afterwards, then they'll be recognized. She and I have to figure out those details. I figured the wristband would also be, I'm going to number them, and that will be our raffle. That will be how we announce our raffle. I was just trying to figure out how, I don't want to give them a ticket because then they're dropping it. So just put a number on there and then.
Start with 1 and go up, and then at the end you'll know that's how many numbers you put in the bucket. That's a great idea.
I think that's a great idea.
I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, not overcomplicate.
And, let's talk about how we can utilize those prizes to get people in that vendor hall. That might be also a good way of getting that. So we'll talk about that today. That's a great.
Yeah, but that is my update now for our youth summit. Again,
I do have a question.
Yeah, Carrie.
I'm wondering, like, the speakers and everything, it sounds fun. I want to come too. But I'm curious, like, who's going to be the hype person? Who's the MC that's going to be welcoming people? Is Christian Page going to be in charge of, the overall ambiance? Or is someone else going to be emceeing?
No, I have, an MC, his name is Nate, and forgive me, I forget his last name, but he was recommended by Grant Twyman. He's a youth pastor, but also a local Lakewood, kiddo that grew up here. He and his wife, I think, have a church now in Tacoma. But yeah, he's signed on to be an MC. He's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna talk to him this week to just kind of give him the event and say, this is where you need. And he'll just, basically what he'll do is that, he's not gonna announce the end of each breakout session, but at the, like in the welcome, he'll come in and then he'll announce the major, breakout sessions, another role, if you choose to sign up, is just to kind of be a little bit of a timekeeper in there too for the breakout session and announce to the person that's leading it. You got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just to keep them on track. We've got a tight schedule. We'll also have floaters that will be going around that they're kind of timing things as well. So I'm really trying to keep it on track.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good. Well, sign me up.
Okay.
Me too, and I might have somebody else.
All right. I love it.
Put
Thank
me
you.
wherever you would like.
Perfect. Thank you.
And anyone else on the board?
Hi,
I'll
Ellie,
do the same.
Ellie?
Yes, Mary?
Yeah, I was wanting let Shannon know that she mentioned having something at Dancing in the Street for the students and a prize for them. And I'd offer up to $50 gift cards from LMC, from the Lakewood Multicultural Coalition. To be given.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay, and that'll be given at the Dancing in the Street event, because I heard you say you needed something for that.
Yes, for the Dancing in the Street event. Thank you,
Okay.
Mary. I will talk to Sally about that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Any other comments or questions from our board members? Well, if you think of anything at all, give Shannon a call, or Mary Dodsworth, or me.
Or email me.
And just thanks everyone who has jumped in throughout this last period of time, helping Shannon, being sort of new and like thrown into the fire, and you guys have all really supported her.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it's really gonna be a great day. We've been talking about this for years, and I'm glad to see it come back after all this time off. So it's really exciting, and it'll set the tone for future ones as well. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go around the bench here and see what else is going on in Lakewood. We have.
It is 8:05.
Michelle's probably jumped off,
Okay,
but.
Michelle, are you still with us, or are you on your way out? Probably, yeah, she's probably gone.
Mayor interacting, not the mayor sitting.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think that's.
All right.
Joyce, would you like to start us off with what's going on at Clover Park Tech?
Sure. This is Joyce, and though it doesn't really impact the external world at all, it was a big deal for us to finally make our transition over to what's called CTC Link 2 weeks ago, and it's going very well. It's a statewide transition from a 40-year-old legacy record system that all of our financial aid and finance records and student records and employee records were kept on to PeopleSoft. And we were in the last group. It has gone well. It's now people learning how to work within that system. And this week they're working on getting all the students up and ready so that when they register, they will have their new student ID numbers and know how to work with it. So that was a big deal. So the only other thing going on right now is on May 20th, we do have our annual scholarship celebration. It's virtual again this year, but something you might be interested in is participating in the virtual dinner, which means if you were interested, you would just need to go online and order a meal, and the proceeds from that meal does go to scholarships, and then you drive by and pick it up. It comes in a box with eating instructions, and it's been made by our culinary arts program and our pastry arts program. So,
Such a good job.
yeah. So I invite you to participate in that, or go online and see some other summer things that you could sign up to do, just different activity type stuff. So anyway, I just want to let you know that was coming and invite your participation if you're interested.
All right, so,
Is the Rainier Room open for serving, or have they gone back to that yet?
The Rainier Room is open, I think, 2 to 3 days a week, and, yeah.
so add May 20th to your calendar,
Yeah.
people. May 20th, yes. I don't know if Ron Banner is with us this morning.
Ron is not
No,
with us.
okay.
We still have Elise Berry.
Elise?
Right there.
Elise, may we hear from you on what's going on at the library right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So Georgia's last day was yesterday. So we're kind of in interim as we wait for our new executive director to come on board. But the biggest news, I think I mentioned this at the I'm getting some feedback. I'm not sure if it's me, but I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. I'm all right, but
Elise,
okay.
it's us here.
Okay. Okay, I can hear. Okay, I can see you nodding. So I think I mentioned at the last meeting that the Lakewood Library building is having some issues, just some structural issues with primarily its roof, but many other things have been uncovered from the experts. So last time I shared that we're kind of looking to see what's next, and our administration is considering a temporary location or considering a reduction in services while we kind of transition to a temporary location, considering whether we're going to renovate the current building or whether we're going to look for a new location to build a brand new library in Lakewood. All of those things are still being considered, but what we found out yesterday is that I think our library will be closing in June. I know this is this is early for me to share, but it's not inappropriate for me to share, but it's not like public knowledge yet. So it was kind of a shock to our system yesterday. We're all very sad. It's much faster than we thought it was going to be. But what that means is that what I think this means, very little information, but what I think this means is that our building will be closed to the public in June, starting in June, while we transition to a temporary location in the Lakewood Town Center. So I don't have a timeline yet, but the timeline information will be coming. We'll look forward to a temporary location. I'm really glad that we'll be able to still provide library services to the city of Lakewood while they figure out what they're going to do regarding a more permanent library. But I'm very sad to hear that we're closing in June because that is summer reading. That's our big thing. That's our biggest program, and certainly our biggest program for youth. So we're reeling a little bit in terms of what our plans can and should be. One thing that's going to happen is that our staff are going to be reassigned to other libraries in the meantime. So we're very confident there will not be any layoffs for our local Lakewood Library staff, but we will be kind of scattered to the winds for a little while they transition to this temporary location. I mean, we got to move all our stuff. There's a lot to do. So my head is still kind of wrapping around this and all the work that this is going to entail in the next few weeks or in the next couple months. And it's also just it's very sad. So I just invite you to come say goodbye to our library. Come visit, come say hi in the next month. And I don't know what support is needed yet. There was a call for a community, a community committee, advisory committee to kind of work with the library to inform the process. But that won't be the last community engagement, around our new location and our temporary location. That was just the first. So there will be other opportunities to support the library through this process. But I'm not quite sure what that looks like in the immediate future, because we're all still kind of reeling from the news. So that's what I have. Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Elise, for sharing that. I remember as just hearing it as a community member, I was a little surprised and shocked. And you had mentioned that it was a surprise even to you as an FTE employee there. Can you give a little bit more context about it? Is that like indicative of the state of Pierce County Library, or I mean?
Yeah. No, this is very specific to the Lakewood building. So the Lakewood many years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, we had started working with the city. Actually, this was like maybe in 2008, working with the city to start considering what's next for our Lakewood Library building. It's just old, and just working with the city to kind of figure out what our community needs. And then the recession hit. So then that was just put on pause, and then we started working with the city again to consider a new Lakewood Library location proactively, understanding that, we want to be able to meet our community's needs. And then COVID hit, so that was put on pause again. And in the meantime, we've just learned that there are some structural issues, primarily the roof, with this building, that just means that unfortunately, we can't be like measured and proactive. I'm also, this is above my pay grade, so I'm representing what I understand from our leadership's decisions. But I think it just means that they feel more pressed to, take action now. And they're really concerned about, using taxpayer dollars well. And they don't want to put a lot of money into this building if that's not where we're going to be ultimately. They also want to make sure everybody's safe, of course. So really what it comes down to is this roof needs a full replacement. I don't know if you know, the footprint of this building is very, very big. So, the whole roof needs to just come off. And it's very, very expensive. So they can build a new library potentially. And our community deserves, a very nice library, and they deserve, a space that meets their needs. And I know all the staff at our Lakewood Library really, really want that for Lakewood. We really, really want something that's just top of the line for our Lakewood community. But unfortunately, it's just kind of happening this way.
Elise?
Yes.
Is it my understanding, is it correct to understand or to assume that our library is closed indefinitely?
I would not assume that, Ellie, because because I'm not at the table in the decisions. I do think it's still maybe on the table that it might be renovated, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't assume anything quite yet. That's kind of where I'm at, is I'm trying to make no assumptions. Even with making no assumptions, I didn't expect a timeline of June.
Ellie, I have two questions, or Elise, I have two questions. One is when you move to this alternate location, a temporary location in June, will you continue to provide services through there? Yeah. Can the public go there, or is it going to be like during COVID where you order and pick up?
Yes. Yeah. The intention is that a new location will most likely be smaller just because of what's available, but will be open for public use, for folks to come in, get the services and the library services they need. Mm-hmm.
And for the board to know too, the city is partnering with the library and looking for locations, they're funding design work. I know we've purchased some land in Tillicum with the intent of possibly building a new one there. So there's progress being made. It's unfortunate that, we're in the same situation with the senior center, right? We were ready to go back after COVID, but the building has got such maintenance issues and leaks and structural issues that we're not able to get in there yet, right, in certain locations. So it's just the nature of these buildings that were built in the early 70s with these flat roofs and Washington weather. So it's unfortunate, but it's not lost. We're making progress, just not the timing isn't great. So
right. Ultimately, what it means is a beautiful library for Lakewood. It's just going to,
Yes.
it's on a timeline that is not what we anticipated, or a process that we didn't necessarily anticipate.
Well, thank you for that info, Elise. Yes. Okay, how about Carrie? Give us an update on what's going on with CIS.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Elise, for sharing that. I don't have anything as dramatic as closing a space. We are involved. We're participating in an organizational analysis to begin our strategic planning process, and really thinking about how do we deepen our supports for students and improve our organization, and also how do we expand? Where do we see ourselves expanding? And I'm excited for that conversation. I think our good news actually ties to Josh's position. We've received some funding from Pierce County to support wellness programming in the schools that we're in, and that'll include better preparation for our own staff who's dealing with mental health issues all the time. Our CIS site coordinators are often the caring adults that young people turn to, and we want to feel more prepared for that work. And so it'll involve training and partnering with Josh actually on facilitating some small groups for our students. And we're excited to deepen our knowledge base across site coordination at the 4 schools and better serve students. Our summer programming is going to look similar to last year. So we are supporting some summer school sites at our 4 schools, but our main programming will be what I think we're calling now Timberwolves Leaders of Change for the high school. And they'll be looking at climate and culture within their own school. Okay, does someone have a question?
No, we keep getting feedback from earlier on in the meeting, Carrie. You have something with the YouTube Live.
Sorry. Can you all hear me okay, though?
Oh, yeah, yes,
We hear you fine.
Oh, okay. So deepening our supports at Clover Park High School, and then having our Leaders of Change continue kind of figuring out what are the areas of improvement that they want to see changed, but focusing in on that high school kind of context. So we're excited about that and what it means for next year, and then living out those changes in their own school. I think that is an update, but I'll take questions if folks have them.
Are those Leaders of Change basically from Clover Park High School, Carrie?
Yeah, they'll all be rising seniors. So our group this year was last year's, rising seniors. And we're hoping that we'll have about 50 students participating in the program this summer for 6 weeks. So a similar model as we did last year, a week of intensive leadership development and leadership skill building, and then some research proposal preparation, and then community presentations.
Okay, well, keep us updated on those activities by those seniors.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Of course.
Any other questions for Carrie? Then let's move on to St. Clair Hospital. Do we have Megan here?
Yep, I'm here. St. Clair, so St. Clair's doing well, not closing. We finally opened the hospital to visitors. I think that was one of the worst parts of COVID, is not being able to have visitors for our patients. They really need that advocate there. So anyways, we've opened to visitors. Patients get 1 visitor per hospital stay, so it is pretty limited. But it is nice to see the public in the hospital again. Our COVID numbers are down. I reported out in January that we were at 65 people with COVID in the hospital on one day. Now we have 5. The numbers are slightly rising, just a touch, but in my mind, I want to pretend like it's over, even though I know it's not. But it's better. It's definitely better than it was. Trying to think of what else. We're full as usual, but things look better for us right now.
That's all, yes, that's all good news. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot for that. Any questions for Megan? Okay, moving on then to, who else do we need to hear from? Mary Dodsworth, yes, absolutely.
Hi, we just are getting ready for a really busy summer. We're really thankful. We've got lots of different grants and programs. So we're going to be doing street events and summer events and a really cool day camp program. And then onesie, twosie, threesies, like we're doing an event in the fishing event that we haven't done for 2 years is coming back. That's next weekend. Then we have dancing in the street dance. We have an event out in Tillicum that's water, it's row, canoe, and paddle or something. It's all about learning about non-motorized water sports. So we'll have the rowing club doing demonstrations, and the fireboat will be out. We'll have opportunities to people to try kayaking. So that's really going to be fun. We're taking it again out to the community, so it'll be in Tillicum. We're going to do some bird watching. We've got, we're just doing lots of different activities. So well, our Connections magazine will be going out the 1st of June, so a lot of these things will be listed in there, and then, of course, on our website. So most of our things are low to no cost. The day camp is ridiculously cheap for an 8 to 5 all-day experience, and that's going to have just a lot of cool things. So, and if someone can't afford the $49 a week, you know, we'll probably help them with that too. So, anyway, we've got a lot going on. We're really excited. The youth council will be sort of kicking off the summer and ending the school year. So, got a lot going on. Busy.
A lot going on.
We're all looking for staff, so that's probably everybody's thinking. We're also really looking for, I mean, full-time maintenance workers, full-time street maintenance workers. So if you've got, you know, families
Well, at
that,
least they made it to Disneyland and had a good.
oh, that's the thing, it's a replay. You know, if you know of families or people that have that experience, or, you know, maybe they're working construction, or maybe they're working some jobs that don't have a lot of security, you know, we are looking for full-time employees, and, you know, we schedule 3 to 5 interviews and nobody shows up, or one person cancels the day before and nobody else shows up. So it's really been a challenge to find these employees. Wow. And then, of course, we've got all kinds of summer staff we're looking for, so that's it.
All right, well, it sounds like a lot of opportunities for jobs.
Yeah.
You might put that in your cap and notate that on your agenda as well. Lots of opportunities for working. We have not heard from Mary Moss. Mary, are you still with us?
I am. Thank you, Ellie. First of all, from the City Council, we issued a proclamation on Monday night declaring May 2nd through May 7th as a week of Water Week. So we presented a proclamation to the water company, and we also did a proclamation declaring May as Hunger Awareness Month. And there's going to be a walk, and I failed to write the date down, but there's a Hungry Walk coming up, and I would like to participate in that. And anybody that's out there that like to walk, check the city webpage because that's where it's listed. Okay. Proclamation declaring May 11th through May 17th as National Police Week. All we can do to support our policemen at this point is, and always, is always needed. Chief Zarro gave us an update on some of the things that's happening in our city. And actually, things are not as bad as in some other areas. So we're doing all right there. And from the Multicultural Coalition, we will have our booth at the Dancing in the Street event on the 21st of May. So that's all I have for now.
Well, it sounds like a lot going on with your group as well.
Yes. But we like that.
Well, it feels good, doesn't it, to be back in business with all
Yes,
these
it does.
activities?
Yep.
It does. It feels very good.
For anyone that's interested, EFN is sponsoring their hunger walk on Saturday, May 7th. It starts at 8 a.m. at Fort Silicon Park.
Oh, May 7th.
Thank you, Mary.
That's this weekend.
That's this weekend,
Starts at what time?
Yeah.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
It's 8 to 11, so I think it's a drop-in thing.
Okay.
That's true.
So does that mean people can come and just drop off a donation of food?
Probably, and take a walk.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Last we have is Kyle.
Go take a walk on the 7th of May over at Fort Silicon Park. Bring food, drop off and donate. Are there any other questions or any other issues that we need to explore or to announce?
Did we give Kyle enough? No, we didn't. Okay.
Kyle, is there anything you'd like to add to our meeting this morning? Or Wanda?
No updates for me. Just I know my kids are looking forward to the farmers market opening up in a month as well. So yeah, great to be here. Great to hear about the updates with our city.
Okay, I'll give you a little update then on Habitat for Humanity project. Andy and I have pulled together a group of very interested people, and we have named ourselves the Friends of Dr. Claudia Thomas. And we are the steering committee that is going to do a PR event so that we can communicate with not only our board, but with the people here in Lakewood about Habitat for Humanity and the work that is being done by that particular nonprofit organization in Tillicum. And we are hoping that one of the homes that is to be built in Tillicum will be in honor of our very special Dr. Claudia Thomas. So there'll be more information coming forward on that. Our steering committee is waiting for some of the publications that we are producing so that we can produce information to share with you about how this is all going to be treated and how it is going to be developed so that everybody in our Lakewood community can be a part of that project. If you have any questions about this project, this Habitat for Humanity project, which is in honor of Claudia Thomas, you can give Andy or myself a call or email us with any questions you might have at this point. But as soon as we get our publicity developed and publicized, then we can go forward from here. Anyway, it's an exciting event, and it's something that we hope will be definitely in honor of Claudia Thomas and also a community event that we can all be a part of. Are there any other comments or questions about anything that we discussed this morning? If not, we'll call our meeting to order. Well, excuse me, we'll call our meeting closed.
All right, 8:30.
Yes.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Have a great day.
Be well.
Bye, everyone.